Good morning, Savvy Babes. Welcome back to another entry of Rem Diary. So the past couple of nights, or mornings I should say, I have been getting very lazy and not wanting to get up and record because I just be so tired. Today is October 16th and I had a very Harry Potter-like dream last night. That's the only way that I can put it. It's the only way I can explain it. And I just want to let you guys know that I have been trying a lot of different lighting setups to get my quality a little better. So I apologize if in some videos it's good, some videos it's bad. It's just I'm trying to figure out the right setup for my room. Besides that, let's just get into this because I have to try and piece this together because even to me it still makes no sense. But we're gonna get there. So I didn't even know where to start. Let's start in the room. So we were in a almost like in Harry Potter where there's that like abandoned cabin where nobody's supposed to be in it or something like that, but everybody goes through it anyway. So there's a room in the castle that we are in. Mind you, that like I said, it's very similar to Harry Potter. I haven't seen Fantastic Beasts yet. I know I'm slacking, but I just work a lot, trust me. So you know how in the castle there's different rooms that they can end up going into. So this is what happened with us. It was definitely three of us. It was me, another girl that resembled Hermione from when the first movie when she had really long wavy hair, but older. And another, he was like a black kid. He had short hair, tall, skinny. And it was the three of us, and we were looking for our other friend who had to be like Harry Potter. And we went up to this one room that we weren't supposed to be in, and this was when it was all four of us because we were just out exploring. And I guess like we all went like different ways kind of thing to like look at stuff, and Harry, the fake Harry Potter, went and touched something and like it kind of like disappeared almost. Like his body was still there, but he couldn't talk, he couldn't move. Like his body was still breathing, but he was unconscious. And we were like, oh my god, like what's wrong with him? Is he okay? So we were like, oh my god, we need to get to Hagrid. We need to tell Hagrid what happened. So we go down to Hagrid's hut. Mind you guys, I have not seen Harry Potter in like a minute. Granted, I have the whole collection over here, I understand that, but I haven't seen the actual movies or read the books in a while, okay? So we go down to Hagrid's hut and we're like, Hagrid, something happened. Harry won't wake up. We don't understand. Like, what did he do? And obviously, because Hagrid knows everything of everything, he was like, oh no, what did he touch? Where did you go? What room did you go to? And we were kind of hesitant. We didn't want to tell him, but obviously it's Hagrid. So we eventually ended up telling him, and he was like panicking. He's like, you guys need to get him out of there as soon as possible. You need to find out who cursed that specific item that took his body, his soul. Because if you don't, it's going to eat him and crawl back in his body to live on the earth. Okay, great, Hagrid, how the fuck do we get Harry back then? And he was like, you need to find out encryption on the item he touched, and you need to go back to that time and figure out who cursed that specific item. You know what? That sounds easy as pie, apparently, because okay, thanks for the advice. So me and fake Hermione and I don't even know what to call him. Let's call him Jared. So it was me, fake Hermione, Jared, and then Harry's missing, and Hagrid was telling us all this information, and all three of us were shitting bricks. Like, great, sounds awesome. An adventure we need to go on without telling anybody and having no adult help. So we were like, okay, sounds great. We basically, after we were finished talking to Hagrid, we went back up to the room at night so nobody would see us or hear us. So like I snuck out of my dorm, Jared snuck out of his dorm, and I don't want to call her fake Hermione. Let's give her a name. Lily snuck out of her dorm, okay? So everybody meets at the corner of the stairwells or something, and we go up on the stairs, and they're moving, and the rooms are moving, and we have to wait until we get the right room, and we all jump forward and go back into the room that we were in originally. Now this time around, we all know don't touch anything because we don't know what the hell is even in here. So we get back, we go all the way to the corner where we found Harry, and we have Lily gets out her little wand and makes it like a flashlight up front, and she's like scoping around looking, and we find like this little treasure box. It's like this big. It's got a little lock on the front of it. It's got on the sides it's white and gold, and the top was black and gold, and it came out like a little clawfoot tub, and those were gold. And we were like, oh, is that what he touched? And Hermione was like, I'm not sure. And so she looks around it, because we can't touch this item, because if we touch this item, the same thing happens to us. So we're trying to not touch it, and Lily goes around the back of it, and she sees this caption on the back, and she says, oh my god, okay, I see it. Somebody write this down. So it says, I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's very, very, like, it was cryptid for sure, but it said something like, the one who waves is the one who transforms. And we were all like, what? Like, what? Oh, okay. I guess. And then it said the year, like, 1876, I want to say. Maybe 1873, along those lines. So we go back to Hagrid, and he's taking care of Harry's body. And we told Hagrid the quote, and he was like, oh, boy. Oh, ho, you guys have no idea. And we were like, what do you mean? Do you know who that is? What do we do? And he was like, I know who that is. I've heard of this person, and it's a woman. It's a female. And you guys need to be very careful, because she doesn't play games. She will kill for blood. And we were like, oh my god. And he was like, and if she comes back to this world in Harry's body, it's game over. Like, we're all gonna be dead. And we were like, oh my god, okay. So we were like, okay, Hagrid, how do we get back there? And Hermione, or Lily, has her little time flippy thing where she can go back in time. So Hagrid told us what time we had to go back into to find her with her little jewelry treasure box. So we all get in the little necklace. She flicks it, and everything's going back, way back in time. And we get back in time to where this girl was kind of like in high school. She was borderline almost an adult. She's obviously very troubled, you could tell. She didn't really have many friends. People didn't like her. They picked on her. They hated her, like the whole nine. And she was just trying to get through school, but she was very heavy into the dark arts and very just like revengeful, like, you know, dark, basically. It's all I could say to describe her. So we all followed her after one of her classes to her room. And then she, we followed her to her room. Well, you know, the thing was, me and Lily followed her to her room because we were like, oh, like, oh my god, how do you like that class? Da, 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 like pretending like we were there at that time. And obviously she didn't know or care because she didn't really have any friends, so she didn't really pay attention to the students in school. And Jared had to kind of fall back a little bit because it was like, what is this kid doing here type thing, like, who are you? Because obviously guys are going to notice guys. So he just kind of went with the guy clique, the jock team, and was hanging out with them for a little bit. And when we got to Lily, when we got to this girl's room, we were like, what is this about her? What the fuck? Like, this is so weird. So then she lays down in her bed and she starts crying, and we were like, why is she crying? Like, this is bizarre. So Hermione has this other tool that if you take it out and you open it, it will show you whatever this person's thinking. So she opens it, and we can visually see what she's thinking in her head. And it went back a time when she was younger. She was a little girl, and this guy basically cursed her when she was little, and put a curse on her that she's gonna transform into a wolf anytime she's angry, or anytime that she's gonna find love. Like she basically can't get close to anybody, because if she does, she turns into this wolf. So, which is very bizarre. So then it shows us a couple of years later, like a couple years before right now, that she had this boyfriend that she really fell in love with, and she was just very afraid. So she was trying to tell him that she turns into a werewolf, and he was like, haha, no you don't, that's funny, haha, no you don't. And this guy came back and was like yelling at her in front of her boyfriend, like, you're not supposed to be doing this, I cursed you, blah 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 blah. And the guy was like, what's happening, oh my god, like freaking out, like trying to protect her. And the guy takes this girl and flies her across the room against the wall, so she kind of goes unconscious. And the guy starts going after her boyfriend and was like, who the fuck, or not who the fuck, who are thou, like, what do you think you're doing trying to ruin my curse thing? And he was like, I love her, she's my girlfriend, I care about her, like trying to retaliate. And the guy just keeps coming closer and closer to him, so that he keeps backing up towards this window. And if he falls out the window, it's basically like the tallest window in the castle of Harry Potter. If he falls out of it, he's basically dead. He's just gonna fall to his death. So he didn't realize how far back he was backing up. So when he backed up, he started going, whoa! And he was like, and he looked over at his girlfriend and he called out her name, which I can't remember. I think it was Mary. And he starts falling, and Mary like kind of wakes up halfway, and she transforms into this large ass werewolf kind of thing, like Jacob from fucking Twilight. And she pounces over, grabs him by the scruff of his shirt, and flies him back over into the castle. And she starts falling down, and she's hitting every rock, every crevice. She's like hitting everything, breaking her ribs, like her legs, everything, as she goes all the way down. Boom. So everybody thought she was dead for a while. Really, she was just healing down there. She had to transform back to her normal body. She was unconscious, but it was so far down, like people couldn't go down there and just rescue her. A lot of people also didn't know that she was down there, and it was just so weird. Like that's the part that it kind of ended right there for her vision. And when we looked back up at her, she stood up. She was standing right in front of us, like, can I help you guys? Like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck? Because she noticed that we were watching her thoughts. And we were like, oh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. We just wanted to know why you were so upset, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, well, it's none of your business. It's not like you guys care, and you don't know me either. And she like walked off from us. And then we see the jewelry box, and we look at behind it, and there's no saying on the back of it. And we were like, what the hell? Like, how do we... So it hasn't happened yet. She hasn't put the curse on it yet. So we had to go what did we have to do? See, this is the part that confuses me, because like we saw the jewelry box and there was no saying on the jewelry box. And then it was like we had to go back and ask Hagrid. We were like, Hagrid, that time there was no curse on the jewelry box. And he was like, oh, you have to wait until this event happens where they make fun of her and humiliate her in front of the whole school. And we were like, oh, okay. So we went back to the time. We were like all walking around, hanging around, going to classes, doing stuff, whatever. And then there was like a Quidditch match where they like elected like who's the most funny, who's the most pretty, blah blah blah. And they elected her the most pretty girl in the school. So when she came out on there, she was like crying and happy. And then they were like, psych, just kidding. And they like threw pie at her, cake at her. And she was like fucking humiliated. And she basically cursed the kid that was on the field and broke his legs. Then the other kid that was on the field, she like broke his 2 arms or something. And she was just like fucking flying people out. She like knew all of these, whatchamacallit. Wow, I just like brain farted. She knew all of these spells to like basically murder and obliterate everybody. So then Dumbledore, fake Dumbledore, came down. He was like floating down into the field with this giant ball around him so that she couldn't affect him. And she was trying and trying and trying. And it was like her wand was like zzz, 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 like just not working type thing. And then finally he goes like this. Boom, and just claps right in front of her. So like this sound wave kind of goes straight at her and she goes flying. Her hair goes flying and she just like blacks out unconscious. She wakes up in the hospital bed or whatever. And the first thing she does is go straight to her room. And she whispers like this spell to her jewelry box. And that's when the saying started saying it on top. And we were like, oh my God, it's now. We have to stop her now so she can't do it or whatever. So we were like, Mary, what's wrong? What's happening? Are you okay? Da da da. And like the saying stopped and it started fading and she turned around and she was like, who are you guys? I haven't seen you up until today. Blah 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 blah. I don't know you, but I'm here and I will literally slaughter both of you type thing. And we were like, we just want to make sure you're okay because we saw you get flung away and you started hurting everybody. Like, are you good? It was like catching up because the time that Harry was about to touch it, the saying was also fading away on it. We just needed enough time so that Harry touched it, but his soul didn't go away. So we like stalled her for like 5 minutes. He touched it. There was no saying on the box. And then he kind of walked away from it like, whatever, it's a dub. Older teachers came in, barged into the room and they were like, get out of here. You're not supposed to be in here. And then immediately she went back to being beet red. She was about to turn into a werewolf and she finishes saying her spell into the box and her like soul, I guess, came out of her mouth and went into the box and locked it, whereas her whole body kind of faded into this werewolf and then faded up into the sky. And they were just like, what the heck? Like, they all knew that she put her body in this jewelry box, like a Horcrux, I think that's what it was, like not Dumbledore, like Voldemort. And Dumbledore, the fake Dumbledore, knew that she put herself in there, so he kind of like created this ball and like carried it upstairs into the cursed room, which is where we were. And we were happy. We ran down to Hagrid's hut. We were like, Hagrid, did we do it? Did we give you enough time? And he was like, it was more than enough time. And Harry comes out of the bathroom. He's like, hey guys, where you been? Been waiting for you. And we were all like, Harry! And we were all excited and happy. And we were like, oh my God, like hugging him. Because he had no fucking idea what happened. Me, Jared, and Lily are over here like, almost fucking died. We almost got cursed. Like, who's this girl that's a witch that's also a werewolf? That what? Like, what? And then I woke up and I was just like, is this what happens in Fantastic Beasts? Like, I ain't never even seen that. Now I'm gonna have to sit down and see that this weekend to be like, did my brain make up a movie? Or did it already watch a movie I really haven't seen? I don't know. I don't get it. But like I had to like piece it together because in my dream it was like flip-flopping scenes, like out of order. So this morning it took me like a good 10 minutes to be like, oh, okay, this is okay, like this. Oh, got it. I will tell you though, the room that Hagrid's hut was, it wasn't the same hut in Harry Potter. It was a different kind of hut. It was more of a house. But there was a hallway in his house that I had a dream a long time ago about this hallway, because there's two doors like this in front of each other, 2 stairs going down like this, and then that's the upstairs, and then there's a hall downstairs. But like this hallway right here, I had a nightmare about this one hallway, which is going to be another dream story at a different time. Like I said, I have a whole dream journal. I have a whole dream journal from back, and that will be it will be very interesting to read, because I know some nights or some mornings I'm tired as hell and I don't really want to sit here and record, even though I know I should, because that's when my dream is the freshest. But sometimes your girl be tired, okay? Like, I try though. But other times, like, I can record my dream after work, which is nice, or I can also tell one of my old dreams that I had that I can still remember, because it's weird, because I can remember all of my dreams almost vividly, like extremely vividly. Like I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember having that dream like da 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 da, like 2-3 months ago. What? I don't know, guys, but let me know down below if you love Harry Potter, if you grew up being a Harry Potter fan or you had to grow into it. I love Harry Potter. That's my shit. But I hope you guys please comment down below. Let me know, okay? What y'all thought about this dream. Like, is it too much? Have you ever heard something like this? Have you read a book like this? Have you seen a movie like this? Let me know down below, please. I would love to know. Make sure you also subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get updates on all of my videos that I post throughout the week, okay? I'll catch you guys in the next one.